Hello everybody, this is Jason,
I'm Zach.
and together we're going to be doing some Tech Talk Tuesdays, where we go over some features on some different appliances. Today we're going to be going over the difference between a power strip, a surge protector, a battery backup, and a uninterruptible power supply. We're going to be doing this every week. We're going to be talking about some tech news and going over some interesting features each week. Today in Tech Talk, we're going to be talking about a few different items in the news. The Apple iPhone 12 and iPhone 12 Pro have been out since December. Both are the same size. The original is $829 and 64 gigabytes, which isn't very much. The Pro is $999 and has 128 gigabyte standard. On the regular iPhone 12, it has a new square side design. It supports 5G, low light and videos for phones and pictures. The con is it only has 64 gigabytes standard, and if you upgrade that to the 128 gigabyte, you're already really close to the Pro price. On the Pro, it has a premium fit and finish, solid built phone, fantastic autofocus on the camera, and it is the fastest phone the CNET's tested. The cons is that it's already $1,000, which is pretty pricey.
Xbox Live attempted to raise their Xbox Live Gold prices. Microsoft announced it would raise Xbox Live Gold memberships from $11 instead of $10 for 1 month, $30 instead of $25 for 3 months, $60 instead of $40 for 6 months, and 1 year was entirely dropped off. However, due to customer backlash, these price hikes were completely dropped and they reverted back to original prices.
That's probably good for the consumers. The PlayStation Plus pricing is set at $59.95 per year anyway. ADT technician pleads guilty to spying on customers for years on their camera feeds. A 35-year-old Teleso Aviles admitted to viewing women in 220 different accounts over 9,600 times over a 4.5-year period. ADT says that they have, of course, tightened down their stringent policies on technicians. He's facing up to 5 years in federal prison on computer fraud charges, and this is why it's really important to have a security company that you can trust. I don't want people watching me just because they said.
Me either.
All right.
Bitcoin hit $40,000 last week at an all-time high of $41,940. It is currently sitting at $33,593. CoinMarketCap.com also has Ethereum at $1,365 and Tether at $1.
So now it's a chance to check your old hard drives, see if you guys have any Bitcoin or cryptocurrency out there, because it's about as high as it's going to get for a while, I think. Item 5. Today there's been another uptick in computer phone and computer scams. We've had several customers come in recently with, I've been hacked, I've been, had to go out and get gift cards. So just a brief overview of what they do. They call the customer and pretend that they're from Microsoft or Cox or whoever, and then they explain that they need to get on their computer. The person lets them on remotely, and that person installs software which locks up their computer or steals all their information, or both. So if they ever want you to go get gift cards or give them the credit card number, don't call them back on the number they give you or ask to talk to a supervisor. Just hang up and try to call the company that they called you from directly. Like if they called you and said they're from Microsoft, then call them directly. Also make sure you guys have your firewalls enabled and your antivirus protection software in place.
The gift cards are a huge red flag, and blocking them is a big deal. A lot of the times people get called back even days after the initial call.
Yeah.
We had a customer that continuously got called back, and they're going to do so because they've already got a hit once.
Yep.
So might as well keep trying.
Yeah, we've had customers that have come in and have had thousands of dollars stolen. Luckily, some local merchants like Walmart or Walgreens have actually stopped them from buying gift cards and say that they're on a phone scam and hung up on the people. But just stay aware of what's going on and make sure you guys have vigilant protection on your computer. And if you feel in any way unsure, make sure you call a local tech like us or a friend or family that you trust.
Stemming off of the scams will bring us into our tip of the week. This tip being to use the Windows Defender antivirus that is built into Windows 10. It is free. Many customers that we have that come in have a second antivirus stacked on top of Windows 10, which, unless it's in a corporate setting, kind of unnecessary.
Even then, it's still not a good idea because sometimes the antiviruses will actually inhibit each other from protecting something that would have protected, or like, hey, I thought Norton's going to get it, I thought Defender's going to get it, and not actually cover the item that's coming
Correct.
through.
I've worked on a couple of computers that when I went to see what was going on with Windows Defender, it was entirely disabled by the other antivirus.
Yeah, and you've got issues where it just really slows the computer down, but mainly it's just because you don't want to have 3 or 4. I've had 4 different antivirus softwares on a computer once, and they still came in with viruses on their computer, so obviously that isn't helping much. But whereas the Windows Defender, it is free, and as long as you're taking good precautions not to click on any of the items you shouldn't, like pop-ups or things you guys aren't aware of, or things that look really fishy, then you should be good to go with the Windows Defender by itself.
Lots of the secondary antiviruses are actually paid. Windows Defender, like we said, is free. So for the paying customer, just using that free software
Should be enough.
should be enough.
Yeah, make sure you keep your definitions up to date, which means that every day or every week, the definitions come out of new viruses that are out there. So as long as you guys are keeping those Windows definitions up to date, you should be well protected. There shouldn't be really a need for an additional McAfee or Norton, Malwarebytes, any of those, even the free ones. All of those add an additional intense amount of pressure on your computer, your operating system, and your CPU and your RAM that causes it to run slower. So we recommend just going with Windows Defender.
Yep.
And just using good practices of not clicking on stuff that pops up. All right, so today we're going to be talking about the differences between a power strip, a surge protector, a battery backup, and a UPS, which is an uninterruptible power supply. You may think that you have a power strip when you don't, or a surge protector when you don't. These power strips here are just basic power strips. They provide little, if any, protection at all in regards to dirty power, surge protection, lightning strikes, anything like that. This one here, even though it has a power button on it, it still is not a surge protector, it's just a power strip. And it says specifically right on here, it says not used as a surge protector. So these two right here will offer very little, if any, protection at all in regards to your equipment. When you get into an actual surge protector, this offers some level of protection against your dirty powers, your power surges, your lightning strikes, things like that. But what you're looking for on these is a joule rating, and this one right here has a 900 joule rating. That's how much power it can handle before it actually goes past that. So you, at the very least, you want 600 joules on your power, your surge protectors, but the more the better. So if you can get like 2,000, that's even better. A lot of these little ones, like this one here, don't really offer much protection, but they do offer something over the power strips at least. They give you a little bit of protection. With any of these devices, all of them have like a rating for a certain period of time. They recommend only using them for about 3 years because as they handle the power surges, even if it's the little one, or the brownouts, or the dirty power, a brownout is when the power goes off temporarily, like just for a flicker. All of that causes problems with electronics, especially computers. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt. Before we get into the more expensive stuff, question, bottom paying dollar, would these be better than nothing?
Those don't help you at all in regards to surge protection, power protection, or device protection at all. The surge protector here does offer you some resistance against power and fluctuations, but those two do not offer anything besides giving you additional outlets. All right, so going on to the battery backups now. These two here are battery backups. These will give you the chance to power down your devices if the power goes out. On top of that, they usually give you a much more robust surge protection, usually around 1,000 or more joules, versus these having like 900 or this having 600 joules. So it gives you better protection, and it also gives you a chance to power things down. One of these battery backups here will allow you to have probably about 50 to 60 minutes of just one single computer running before it shuts itself off. It has an actual internal battery in there. So that gives you a chance to turn your computer off properly, and they actually come with a cable that you can actually plug in for most of the new ones, to where you can plug this into your computer and install a little bit of software, and when the computer realizes that the power's gone out, it will actually turn the computer off itself. So it's always a nice feature as well.
It's important to focus on how these are labeled as well. Some of these ports or plugins are only surge, some of them are both.
Yeah, that's correct. So if you guys see on here, it'll show you guys, like this is the one that's economy with its surge, and this side here might just be surge, and this side here would be surge and battery, this side would be surge only, something like that. When you get into the higher end ones, these will do an additional feature that these other ones don't, and that'll actually allow you to filter the power and keep it at 60 hertz, 120 volts, like the recommended manufacturer on your electronics. How that differs is as the power comes in here, it's not actually going straight through. It actually comes in here, and the battery itself sends out the power. So it actually keeps the power at 60 hertz and 120 volts all the time. On top of that, not only do you get issues with power, but you can also have power fluctuations through your phone lines, your data lines, and your cable lines. Now, if you see on this side here, it says surge and battery, and this side here just provides surge. So on this particular one, it shows you which ones can actually just give you surge protection and which ones have a battery backup, so you know which ones you can do. Now, you could always take one of these and then plug in an additional surge protector into them. Just know that they all have a certain amount of power that they can handle. So you don't want like 11 computers running off this one surge protector. You want to have them split up between multiple surge protectors.
And of course, when you're paying for more, you're getting more. This one has 4 only surges. This one has 1 only surge. This one has 5 battery and surge. This one has 5 battery and surge. And some of these even come with an additional visual display on the front.
Yeah, like this one has a nice display on the front. So this will give you a chance to have it plugged in, but this will actually show you the amount of power it's using. So if you have like 5 devices plugged in, it can show you how much of the power of the load is available. So it could say like 50% of the load, but it gives you a chance to at least show what all it's going and how much power it's putting out. And it'll tell you, like, based upon how much load you have, how many minutes of battery backup you have until it goes off. So that is our tech tip for today. If you guys don't have these, I highly recommend them, at least in your areas of high electronics use. So like your home theater area, your computer area, you need to have at least, I would say, a battery backup or a full UPS that has the filtering power on your devices. All of our computers at the office have a UPS like this one here. But even for your home, you should have a couple of these inexpensive ones and not just use a power strip or a surge protector, because those don't offer very much power at all.
In the scheme of things, these cost less than the device that would need to be replaced if it got fried.
Yeah, a lot of these bigger ones have really nice warranties, like they have a 3-year warranty, and they have an amount of value that whatever's plugged into them, up to $300,000, or this one here is $100,000, this one's I think $250,000, this was $300,000 worth of value of whatever's plugged into it, that they will refund it if it gets failed because of a over surge or a power issue in that 3-year period. So good warranties on these as well. We had a customer come in today that just brought this one back because it fried the one they had, but it kept their computers safe. There was 2 computers plugged into this one, and both the computers are still working, but the device itself, it went beyond the power it could handle, so we replaced that one today as well. So thank you guys for watching. Tune in next week. We're going to be talking about backup hard drives, redundancy, and network attached storage, which gives you guys the ability. We had a lot of customers here recently that have come in for us to recover their hard drives, paying up to $1,500 to $2,000 for a hard drive recovery, but not paying $100 to $150 for a backup hard drive, which would save you guys a lot of money in the future. So tune in next week, and we look forward to seeing you. Thank you guys for having us.
Till next time.